Hey guys, alright, I'm going to do a quick teardown of this Star Wars Pachinko. I'll start just by opening up the front glass here. We're going to pull out the cell. Open up the bottom here. There's two latches holding this thing in. This red one down here and this red one up here. Just going to pull these towards you. And that cell's going to start coming out. There's no plugs on the back you got to worry about unless you've got a battle counter hooked up. Start pulling it out from the right side. Get your hand behind there and then grab underneath it from the left side. Just slowly work its way out. My door's caught. So after you get that out of there, just lay it face down on a flat surface here. Okay, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. All right, my camera setup's pretty lame. So these are the other plugs I was saying. If you had a battle counter hooked up, the only other thing you got to worry about unplugging. Now we can go ahead and take this door right here right off and out of the way. Just those two tabs there, and then just pop it out of the hinge on the other side here carefully. And get that out of the way. There is one plug going right here. Take that off. Now we're going to take this board right here off, and you just take all these plugs right off right here out of the way. Don't really need to worry about where they're going because they're either color coded, they'll only go in one spot, so I don't really pay attention. You can't really mess it up. Now with this here, there's a tab on this side. You just push down and you slide this thing over and you lift it up off. Set that out of the way. Okay, we're going to keep going with these plugs here on this board. If you look, you can see these channels right here where these wires are coming down around. So you want to just gather up these two groups of wires, unplug all of them from whatever board they're going to. So there's that group down here out of the way. There's a lot of plugs. And you've got some that are going up here pretty far. Okay, so I got these two groups out of the way. I'm gonna just keep coming right up here, and I'm gonna unplug all my cables from the screen. So we're gonna be taking the screen out. If you look up here, this group of wires that are coming around the top, these all have to be moved out of the way. So I'll follow these back to where they're plugged in at and unplug all those. This group right here. Get them up out of the way. Like that. Just keep working all these wires out of this holder right there. Okay. So these ones should be fine left there. Just take this one here off. Run that back out of the way. And now we're going to take out these couple of screws right here that are holding your bracket that holds that door on. This is also holding your LCD screen down. Looks like there's 4 screws in that to lift that up out of the way. Okay. And you've got 2 screws on the left side. Let's see. I think that's the wrong one. I'm having a hard time seeing here. Bear with me. Definitely this one down here. Looks like I believe it's this one right here. Okay, so that freed up that side of the screen. Be aware of this plug right down here. This is often one that gets missed. I want to unplug that. Got one more of this green plug here. This is going to stay back. Just hook that up there out of the way. Now I should be ready to take this screen out. Grab that, lift it up from the left side. Let's see here. Find a good way to grab onto it. Okay. So there's your LCD screen. I'll get that out. Okay, now you're going to go around the outside here. Take out all these little screws on the very edge of the go along the outside edge here. Okay. There's one more. Okay, so now I got all the screws out around the outside of that. You're ready to lift this back piece off. Just want to do it as slow and steady as possible there. Set that there. All right, now. So now with this part, you get real good access to taking apart all these tunnels here and taking all those tubings apart and clean them all out. They get to be a mess after a while. If you're lucky enough to find these motors for the actuators, you can get to those now. If you find a source for them, let me know. I'd love to have spares of those. I'm pretty sure they're near impossible to come by. This part here is kind of a pain to take apart. You've got all those LED lights that are going around it. I have had it apart one time to clean it, and I don't really care to do it again if I don't have to. But I just slowly start, taking these screws off back here. They're just getting all these wires out of the way is kind of a pain. That back plate will come off, and then there's more they have to separate in there. It's like I said, it's not fun. But I'm gonna leave that part alone for right now. I'm gonna get reset up here, and we'll get back to work on that half. Okay, so now you can see with those two halves separated, you can really get into where these gears are for that TIE fighter. When I got mine, the thing was skewed. It jumped a couple teeth on one side, and it just wouldn't operate properly at all. So I tore it all down. I was afraid if I didn't and tried to force it, I'd break some teeth or something else. So breaking it down this far, I could get in here to this screw, take that out, and then it'd give you enough slack here. You can move these gears out of the way and get them, you know, notched down a couple teeth there to where it was supposed to be. Other than separating it that far, I don't really know how else you would be able to safely get to it. I don't know. I mean, they're in there pretty good. Well, that's how I did it, and it worked out. It worked out good. So, like I said, that also gives you a good opportunity to go through all your ball tracks here, clean them all out. That other half, you really got to break it down that far because the screws are coming in from the back. So you got to separate that, get to the other side of it to separate all those channels to clean them out. So that's about it. You know, that's as far as I think I really need to go with it. I've already had all these off and cleaned out and everything. You know, once you get it this far, it's pretty straightforward on getting the rest of these off to split them and everything. So, and then putting it back together, just work backwards onto it. All right, thanks guys, see you.